My name is Alia Christina binti Azmi. I will be presenting the first part of our occupational safety and health assessment, which include the location introduction, location description and function, as well as the site observation finding. For our assessment, we selected the parking area at University Malaysia Kelantan. We choose this location because it is one of the frequently used facilities on campus. Every day, the area is used by student, lecturer, university staff, visitor, and service provider. As we can see, there is a continuous movement of both vehicle and pedestrian throughout the day. Because of this high level of activity, the parking area has a greater potential for safety and health risks compared to many other campus facilities. Therefore, it was selected as the focus area for our OSH assessment. Moving on to the description and function of the location, the parking area is situated near several academic and administrative buildings, making it easily accessible to campus users. Based on our observation, the area is equipped with supporting facilities such as parking bay, pedestrian walkway, street lighting, traffic signs, speed hump, and landscape surrounding. These facilities help ensure smoother traffic movement and provide a safer environment for both driver and pedestrian. The main function of this area is to provide a safe and organized parking space while supporting accessibility and daily campus operation. To conduct this assessment, we use several observation methods to obtain accurate information regarding the condition of the parking area. The first method was visual site inspection. We basically walk around the entire parking area to observe the condition of the facilities, identify potential hazards, and assess the overall suitability of the location. This helps us understanding the actual condition of the site rather than relying solely on assumption. The second method was photographic documentation. Throughout the observation process, photographs were taken as supporting evidence to record the condition of pedestrian walkway, parking bays, traffic signs, lighting facilities, and the surrounding environment. Lastly, we carried out observation during different periods to evaluate traffic movement, visibility, and user activity. This allows us to identify issues that may not be noticeable at a single point in time and provide a more comprehensive understanding of the safety condition of the parking area. Based on the observation made, we assessed whether the parking area was suitable for use, including its layout and traffic flow, to ensure that it was safe and functioned well.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone. My name is Nur Shafia Izzah binti Syukur, and today I will be presenting about hazard identification at our study area. During our hazard identification process, three key issues were highlighted. The first, physical hazard. Several potholes and crooked surfaces were identified along the main pedestrian walkway, creating potential hazard for pedestrians. Second, ergonomic hazard. Severely faded parking slot marking and excessively narrow parking stall layout may cause difficulty in vehicle maneuvering and increase the risk of accident. And third is environmental and physical. Deficient nocturnal lighting levels and unstable heaving vegetation overhangs.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nur Emilin binti Muhammad Samsudin and I will be presenting the hazard identified in the selected parking area. The first hazard identified is a damaged pedestrian walkway. Based on our observation, the pedestrian walkway has sandy, cracked, and uneven surfaces, which may create safety concern for pedestrians who using the area. This condition poses potential safety risks, particularly for students, staff, and visitors who frequently walk through the parking area. The main impact of this hazard is the increased risk of slips, trips, and falls, especially when pedestrians are walking in a hurry or carrying bag and other personal belongings. The risk may become even higher during rainy weather, when the surface becomes wet and slippery. In addition, the damaged condition of the walkway may reduce walking comfort and discourage users from using the designated pathway. If left unattended, this hazard could lead to injuries and negatively affect the overall safety and accessibility of the parking area. The second hazard identified is faded parking markings. Due to tire friction, weather conditions, and continuous vehicle movement, the parking bay markings have become faded and difficult to see. This makes it harder for drivers to clearly identify parking boundaries and designated parking spaces. As a result, vehicles may be parked improperly, leading to congestion and confusion within the parking area. The lack of visible markings may also increase the possibility of minor vehicle collisions, especially during peak hours when the parking area is crowded with students and staff. In addition, unclear parking markings can affect the overall traffic flow and make it more difficult for drivers to maneuver safely within the area. If this issue is not addressed, it may reduce the efficiency, organization, and safety of the parking facility for all users. The third hazard identified is unstable canopy trees. Some trees near the parking area have excessive overgrowth, including dead and decaying branches. These branches become weak over time and are more likely to break during strong winds or heavy rains. This creates a safety risk for both pedestrians and vehicle owners. Falling branches may damage parked vehicle and could potentially cause injuries to people nearby. In addition, overgrown branches may obstruct visibility around the parking area, making it more difficult for drivers or pedestrians to see clearly. This can increase the risk of accidents, especially in areas with high traffic movement. During adverse weather conditions, the likelihood of branches falling becomes even greater, posing a more serious threat to safety. Furthermore, the presence of poorly maintained trees may negatively affect the overall appearance and condition of the parking area. Therefore, regular inspection, pruning, and maintenance of the trees are necessary to ensure the area remains safe and suitable for all users.
Now, we're moving on to hazard 4, which is poor nocturnal illumination, dim deficient lighting, insufficient lighting fixture, and malfunctioning or dim bulbs curse parking areas, pedestrian walkway, and vehicle lanes to become poorly illuminated after dusk. Risk analysis and impact increase risks of slip, trips, and falls, reduce driver visibility of pedestrian, higher risks of thief and security threats. Finally, let's move on to our last hazard, which is hazard 5, is narrow stall dimension. Substandard slope with parking bays are too narrow and do not meet standard requirements, resulting in limited space between vehicles. For risk analysis and impact, restrict vehicles' door movement, increase risks of minor vehicle damage, causes congestion during parking maneuvers.
Hi everyone, my name is Chumina and I will continue this presentation on suitable evaluation. In this part of presentation, I will explain our suitable evaluation framework. After that, I will share our targeted recommendation and control measures to make the campus safer. Let us start by looking at how we evaluate the risks we found. To evaluate our five identified assets, we use a simple and a structured tool called risk metric. This metric helps us to look at each problem using two important measures, likelihood and severity. Likelihood means how likely it is that an accident will happen. Severity means if an accident does happen, how bad will it damage or injury be? Let's look at a couple of examples from our campus study. First, we have ergonomic issues, such as our narrow parking stall dimensions. Because the parking spaces are so tight, like the likelihood of minor property damage, like scratching a car door against a wall or another vehicle, is incredibly high. However, the severity is low because no one gets hurt. On the other hand, we have infrastructure hazards. These include poor lighting at night and damaged walkways. The likelihood of an accident here might be medium, but the severity score is much higher. Why? Because these assets are a direct threat to physical safety. They can easily cause students and staff to slip, trip, and fall in the dark, leading to serious injuries. By ranking all five assets from critical down to low risk, we give university a clear, data-driven timeline. This helps management know exactly where to spend their budget and prioritize maintenance where it is needed most. Now that we know which risks are the most urgent and how do we fix them, based on our findings, we have created a three-tiered control strategy. This is a step-by-step plan to solve these problems systematically. First, we have short term actions. These are quick, low cost fixes that a university can do right away. We recommend immediate landscaping maintenance. This means pruning the decaying tree branches that are hanging over the parking bays before they fall on cars. At the same time, workers should clear away loose sand and gravel from the pedestrian paths so people do not slip. Second, we have infrastructure upgrades. These are medium term projects focused on fixing the physical environment. The university needs to resurface the cracked walkways to completely get rid of trip assets. They also need to replace the old, weak lights with high efficiency LED fixtures. These will brighten up the areas and completely remove nighttime blind spots. Third, we have spatial management. This is our long-term plan for the layout of parking lot. We recommend repainting the lines on the ground to match standard wider dimensions. Giving cars more space will ease traffic congestion during busy peak hours. It will also significantly reduce low speed, minor collision. We strongly believe that implementing these three levels of control will drastically improve campus safety and make the area more accessible for everyone.
To wrap up our presentation, let's look at the project conclusion. A safe parking lots reflect an organization core commitment to protective the health, life, and asset of its workforce. Executing proactive physical and ergonomic hazard audits elimination liabilities, prevent personal injury, and ensure the entire organizational premise aligns with National Occupational Safety and Health (OSH) regulatory acts. Thank you.